Hey, everybody. Welcome into the Arena, Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast. This is episode 179. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burley of Burleyman Gaming, Turn-Based Carl, and Leah the Hatless, and Fubu87. He should be joining us shortly. So, guys, of course, we've got the sweltering heat that's, upon us here in the heart of the summer. Yeah, I mean, every day here in Japan, it feels like you open the door and it's like a sauna. You're just stepping into a sauna. I mean, it's really, really bad out here right now. How is it in Canada for you, Burley, right now?
Right now, it's not too bad today. The humidity is not there.
Mm-hmm.
It is hot, but not humid. But like the last couple of days, it's been quite humid where you just go outside. Like when I'm just going out just to take out some of my recycling, and it's literally like a minute and a half walk, and you walk back to the building, you're sweating already, and you're like, how? Why?
Uh-huh. Yeah. All right, looks like Fubu's trying to join us here now.
Oh, he made it.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's at work.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, hello.
Hey, Fubu. Hey,
Sorry, there's a problem with the background.
Yeah, but your microphone is really way too loud, so you need to turn that down. So
yeah. Is it better now?
Carl, how about over there in New York? How's it going, man?
Oh yeah, Western New York is beautiful. It's like 80-ish around there. Yeah, it's sunny. The sun is strong, but it's not terrible. Mm-hmm. I was just out at the Burger Fest, which is this like street fair they do here in Hamburg, and they shut down the main street over here, and then a little bit farther on the next street over, and it's like right down like at the intersection of my street right here where it starts. And they had all these classic cars lined up, so they had like a little car show.
Oh, nice!
And then they had like bounce houses for the kid. You know, my daughter didn't want to leave. We left at like 4:30. And she went kicking and screaming. Yeah, they have all the food stands with burgers and all kinds of other food and stuff. So.
Yeah, that reminds me of when I was in the States. My father and we would go to Reno. From San Francisco, we'd drive to Reno, and they had the hot August nights there with all the classic cars and all of that. That was really cool. Good stuff.
And this event, they have some live music. They have some other shows going on. I mean, it'll only be going on for the rest of the night too.
Cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Leah, Fubu, how is the weather there for you out there in Madeira?
It's weird.
Pretty. I mean, it's pretty hot. I went to the beach today, catching some sun rays. It was nice. We also have those kind of fairs like Carl was talking about here. We have one per like small town in here every weekend. It kicks off in like June until September, and it's the summer parties basically.
Yeah. Those little town parties, like fairs that people do. It's that type of thing. Funny story, it was really hot today. So me and my girlfriend, we decided to go to the shopping center so we can get some free AC. And on the way to the shopping center, we got in a car crash. We're fine, but it was all because of the weather. If it was cold, I would stay home and nothing would happen to me. See?
Wow. Yeah, free air conditioning. Yeah, it's like here in Japan. Like a lot of the older people, they hang out in the shopping malls pretty much all day because that's the free air conditioning and stuff. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's what we need to do here as well.
Yeah. Yeah. We've got a hot episode for you, and I want to apologize if any of you see some of the lag here on. I don't know if it's Restream or not, but on my end, it's like saying there's a couple of connection issues and things like that. So, but hopefully for all of you, you can enjoy this episode without any lag or anything like that. So we've got a full slate of news stories to talk about from the world of Xbox, the world of PlayStation, the world of Nintendo, and in PC gaming and all of that. So we're going to jump right into it. So let's go ahead and get into the first story. So talking about Call of Duty. So basically, Call of Duty. Yeah. So let me go ahead and pull that up here. So this first story here. So Call of Duty. It's getting its, of course, the beta. So it's going to go live on all platforms, and this is from Gaming Bolt on August 30th, and it's going to remain up until September 4th. It's going to be available to anyone who's pre-ordered the game, as well as to members of Game Pass. So following that, a week later, an open beta will go live for everyone from September 6th through the 9th. So Activision has yet to talk about the contents of the beta, but those details will most likely be shared in the days and weeks ahead. And Call of Duty Black Ops 6 launches on October 25th for Xbox Series X and S, PS5, Xbox One, which is a little surprising, and PS4 as well, and PC. So I thought they would skip the past generation and just move on with the current generation, but no. Xbox One and PS4 gets a version as well. And it will also be available day one on Game Pass, depending on which tier you are subscribed to. So my question to you guys is, we don't know so much about the details of the contents of the beta, but what do you expect to see out of the beta? So, Burley, I'll start with you for Call of Duty here. What do you think?
Well, I expect the standard stuff you get from these betas, from these Call of Duty betas, where you get a couple of the maps that you're going to be playing the multiplayer. So like Team Deathmatch and maybe just the one mode where you go against each other, and if you die, you're out. So like you get a couple modes of that, and then just sometimes they'll do with these, if you rank up high enough, some of your progress carries over into the main game, so that way you get some early unlocks when the game does go live.
Yeah. Carl, what do you think those that are going to be playing this beta on X and on Xbox Game Pass, what should they expect to get out of this?
I mean, I'm not the expert on Call of Duty, so I'm going to assume it's going to be pretty much what they always get, right, as far as these betas go. But I do want to comment about how they're doing it for giving access to the Game Pass subscribers. I think that's a pretty cool benefit for the early access. This is like we're seeing the results of them having Call of Duty, right, as a first party game. They're not gating it to one platform like they did when they had the PlayStation deals, but they are providing it as an extra, value, right, to Game Pass subscribers.
Fubu, your thoughts on what we might see in the beta?
Bugs that were
the truth comes out, people.
Everyone's being like super polite. Oh, I'm expecting this and that. No, I'm expecting bugs. There's going to be a shit ton of bugs. So I'm expecting bugs. I'm assuming that the beta will have a lot of online gaming. So I think they're going to use it to balance the game for when it comes to open public for everyone, because these games, especially when it's team-based, there's always a setup that's more powerful than the others. I remember there was one time that the shotgun was super powerful, so they nerfed it. So they're going to see what's strong and what's not strong. And I lost my connection.
I'm kind of surprised they're still in the 90s. Because the last Call of Duty I played, it was a long time ago, like 10 years ago. And they were in like World War II, Cold War. And they're still in the 90s in the story. Okay, cool. Good to see. Didn't move far along into the story. That was like 30 years ago.
What?
Okay,
We're getting old.
It's
How
the
long
glory
of a-
days, okay?
Yeah.
So everybody wants to relive right now.
When the full game comes out, guys, how long of a campaign do you expect to get out of it? Do you think we'll get more than just a 3 to 5 hour campaign this time?
Not
yeah.
likely.
3 to 5. That's short. That's real short, right?
But that's standard with Call of
Is it?
Duty. The last,
Yeah,
as someone
it's
that
short.
has played Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare, and the Black Ops Cold War, like at the highest end, you're getting like 6 hours, and like 6 hours is like, holy shit, this is a lot. Like I think this one, because of how they'll do it, you maybe get 6 to 7 hours on the high end. But this also depends. There's a few factors. If you're good and you've been playing the multiplayer on these games and you're playing, let's say, on normal mode, you're going to breeze through these missions pretty quickly. And it also depends how many are they going to, because Call of Duty always has to have their moments. They have to go back and show you every game. You got to now, ever since the original Modern Warfare, have your ghillies in the mist movement, where you're slowly crawling around and being stealth and trying to get through.
I'm looking at how long to beat Call of Duty campaigns. Yeah, like 8 hours seems to be like sort of the high end, right? Like Modern Warfare 2, the remake was 8 hours. 3 was.
If you're playing on crushing mode, probably.
Yeah, you're playing on veteran.
Veteran.
It says Cold War 5.5. I mean, these aren't like 100% accurate, obviously, if you know how long to beat works. But usually they're pretty good. Black Ops 3 was 9. Okay, so there's like one longer. So I would say like your 6 to 8 is probably fair.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be significantly more than like Modern Warfare 3's 5, right? Like at least something more substantial than that. So
I think it's going to be short because they only want it's the online, so people get the battle pass, buy skins, so they won't give a very big story. I think the story is going to be short, and they're going to focus. They want people to focus on the online, and if you spend 9 hours playing the story mode, that's less 9 hours that you're going to make money.
I mean, it's 9 hours out of like 100 that someone's going to put in, right? It's not that big a deal, right?
Well, more of late, the campaigns for people have just been, okay, hey, I don't want to go online and get camped and killed. I want to just get used to the basics and the new mechanics. So I'll play the first 3 to 4 levels. Okay, now I got the basic mechanics. I've adjusted my controls for the speed of how I turn and all this and that, the camera movement. Now I'll go to online.
Yeah, I mean,
don't online is also
and get killed.
Sorry, Carl. You're gonna say something?
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say this is at the end of the day a beta, so the multiplayer is where things most likely go wrong. So that's probably where the focus is when releasing this beta, is kind of getting everything ready. So when the game is fully out and fleshed out, it's like, okay, good to go.
Right.
But basically, they're like the guinea pigs, like the test our game, see how it goes. Well, this isn't great. Okay, we're gonna fix it.
Yeah, that's what the beta's usually for the online stuff.
Yep. Alrighty. So, talking about Call of Duty there. So next up, obviously we had some, news earlier this year about, studio closures, unfortunately. And, that's been a problem throughout the industry. And we got some, comments this week from FromSoftware and, the Silent Hill creator, Toyama-san. And he's trying to talk about certain strategies for helping video game studios stay afloat.
Did we lost expat?
We have lost expat.
Oh, he's back.
I'm back again.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with Restream. It's like connecting and disconnecting, connecting, disconnecting. I have no idea. Maybe it's out here in Japan and the internet connections situation. I have no idea. So please
is it connected to Microsoft? Because there was an outage of the world. So maybe it's that.
But please, forgive the situation anyway. So, can you hear me, guys?
Yes,
Great.
all good.
Okay.
You're on.
So anyway, Toyama's comments, let me go ahead and read them. He says, quote, "The balance of routine and preserving the style of your games is relevant," end quote. Toyama-san said in a new interview with VGC, and this is from over at gamesradar.com. So asked about the reaction to Tango Gameworks shutting down, parent company Microsoft closed the Hi-Fi Rush studio in May, despite executives saying they, quote, "couldn't be happier," end quote, with the studio's latest release back in 2023. So studio founder Mikami Shinji-san, who also created Resident Evil, called Microsoft's decision, quote, "sad," end quote. So Toyama-san goes on to say, quote, "You look at an example like FromSoftware, they keep making different games, but certain styles and aspects of their games stay the same. That's an obvious example of how a studio is successful. Not changing everything every time might be the key to life and surviving," end quote. So, Carl, I'll throw this to you. Do you agree with Toyama's, his thoughts on preserving, studios within the industry and how they can stay afloat in this manner?
I mean, he thinks that this from software strategy is the way. I mean, one particular strategy isn't necessarily going to work for everyone. Every studio is different, and the type of games they make are different. And the fan base they have is different. Like From Software's success has a lot to do with their fan base now. Obviously, the games are good, right? But they have this fan base that love everything they make, right? So when From Software puts something out, you have this group of people who are going to look at it or want to try it, whether it's the games that they love right now, which are the Souls-like games, or even when they put out something like Armored Core, there's a lot of people who are like, "Oh, well, but FromSoft made it, so like I want to check that out." Even though that franchise was like never really super popular, it was always like decent, it did decently well. So it's it depends on what you're making, right? You can't expect that from, like, in reference to Tango. They didn't have any games that had large fan bases, right? They never did. I mean, Evil Within, moderately successful, I think, maybe with the first one. I don't know if the second one, I think, maybe did less. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, in the West, but I mean, out here in Japan, like Psycho Break had a pretty big following. But I would say it's regional. Yeah. So.
Yeah, these aren't games that are breaking into the zeitgeist ever, and FromSoftware has that. And once you do that, I mean, you're going to be a success probably, right, with your next thing, regardless of if it's great. But they keep making really good games. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Leah, your thoughts?
I think he's right, because this doesn't apply just from software. I think there are more gaming studios that kind of have this formula, or not formula, I guess identity is probably the best word, where you kind of know what to expect from them, but still get something different all the time. Atlas Studios is an example. Annapurna is another, where they have these games that are good platformers, or they can be a bit more risky and different, but always something good for them. Nintendo is also a good example, that if you're gonna get a game from any of the companies that work from Nintendo, it's gonna have the brand and the images, or I know, Kirby or Mario, you have this identity, almost like the main character is identity. And that's kind of a signal to the players, you can expect something good from here. So he kind of has a point where the most successful companies slash game studios kind of follow this example. So yeah, I think he's right. Deviating too much and players not knowing what to expect from you can really harm you in the long run.
Fubu, your thoughts?
I think you need to adapt with the times. I'm going to give the case of Naughty Dog. If Naughty Dog was doing games nowadays like they did Crash Bandicoot, they wouldn't be as big as they are with the Last of Us, or how they were with an Uncharted. They kept the basic formula from their studio, which is platform, because Crash Bandicoot was a platformer. Then Jack and Daxter started as a platformer, then evolved into a type of shooter. Then came the Uncharted, which were adventures, more serious storytelling. And then came the Last of Us, which is the less platform of them all, and has the bigger story. The story is the most deep one of all the games they have made. So I think you need to evolve with the time. You might have this formula, but this formula won't work your full existence. You need to adapt, overcome, and open yourself to what the market is going to, and not stay back. If you stay back, you will lose your fans, and because they'll start going to somewhere else. So I think you really need to improve, adapt, and overcome. That's my opinion.
Yeah. So why do you think FromSoftware has excelled using the same formula for so long then, Fubu?
How long have they been in the market?
A long time.
Since the
Naughty Dog has
PS1,
been-
at least.
Yes.
Since the PS1, but
Yeah.
it only became more popular in the PS3 with Dark Souls, right? It was on the PS3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
That's because a new generation of gamers start playing that type of game. The previous one, like, I don't play those games. Like, Leah, you gave me Elden Ring, thank you so much, but I'm never gonna finish that game. Never.
Boo! Cancel Fubu.
Because it is not.
You
my
heard
cup
our
of tea.
hashtag cancel Fubu.
It's like, thank you. I hate it.
But thank you. It was a nice gift.
Hey,
But no,
I agree. I agree with Fubu in the sense that I'll probably never finish that game either. I love it to death, but it's a game that
I like it. I like it as well. It's a very nice game. The world is
Yeah.
great, but
Right.
I don't have the mental fortitude to finish that game.
Right,
Trust me.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. They had success. They've been since the PlayStation 1, but they weren't as successful until the first Dark Souls. But the PlayStation 3 was a new type of generation of gamer that it's not me or you or Burl or Carl, but Carl looks young, or Leah, but
But I look like an old
Carl-
lady. Is
Carl-
that it? Like, okay, Fubu. Then explain Super Mario. It's
Super
the
Mario.
same. The platformer stays the same. The character is the same. Okay, there's a few tweaks, but like that identity is there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It
There's
hasn't
always
changed that much.
there's always an exception to the rule. And I can say Mario is that exception. Legend of Zelda completely changed along the years, for example. There's always an exception. Mario, I do agree, Mario is an exception to the rule. Oh, he's back.
I like I said, I don't know what's going on. So yeah, so all of you viewers out there, it's probably restreams in. But anyway, go ahead, Burley. Your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm of two mindsets. Like I get it if it, you know what, sticking to knowing what people, if you stick to one kind of thing, people know you for that, and you know what, the more time you spend doing this, you can master that craft and make that name for yourself. Right. And show that you are very, and show the talent you have built in that. But there have been great studios like that have made different types of titles and gone throughout. It's a thing of, can you do that kind of different styles, and can you tap at the vein at the right time? Because some of these games, if they come at the right time, that's when they really take off.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, let's go ahead and move on. Go ahead, Carl.
They've made a lot of different types of games since their inception, right? I'm looking at the list here. In 1994, it was Kingsfield, but all the way up until like what we know them now for, which is Demon's Souls in 2009, which I think that got some notice, and then Dark Souls coming in 2011, right?
That was the big one. Yeah, I think that.
Yeah. Everybody kind of expects them, and to make games like that, but that's like only their recent history, And then not every company has such a vast history. They still want to make other games, obviously, like Armored Core. So hopefully they do make some other things besides Souls-like too, because they are a very talented studio. You look at someone like Capcom, right? Like Capcom makes everything, every genre, right? I'd say not every, but a vast variety of different things. You never really know what to expect from them.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and move on before I before I lose the connection again. Yeah, let's do this. Maybe it'll improve as we go on. I have no idea. So anyway, let's move on. And next up is, I think Burley, you're going to like this one, of course. Astro Bot. There's a couple of stories from Astro Bot this week. And I have a question for you, Burley, before we get into the stories here. If you had to choose between Astro Bot or Ratchet and Clank, which of the two would you choose from? I mean, because when I look at Astro Bot and where it's going now, it's getting, especially this new one that's going to be coming out in September, it reminds me a lot of the Ratchet and Clank series, especially the later Ratchet and Clank games. So which would you choose? Yeah.
That's actually such a hard decision, because I am a huge Ratchet and Clank fan. I started out with the original. I remember it coming out on the PS2 and getting it that year for Christmas, and I remember all the great commercials Insomniac did for that game of showing off the weapons in real life to show them. This is a hard one, because Astro Bot is doing such a love letter to the all of Sony's properties and franchises over the years, especially with Playroom. You just had you couldn't go how many feet on a screen without getting oh my god, this is from this game, I remember this, that there was so much nostalgia and just showing and great and good little references. But since we're probably going to get more of Astro Bot and Ratchet than Ratchet and Clank lately, I'm going to go with Astro Bot.
Yeah, and we're probably going to get a Ratchet and Clank cameo in one of these games. I mean, for sure. Yeah, for sure. So
you had it in Playroom. You had Ratchet and Clank.
Right. So, all right. So let's go ahead. I'll get to the story here. So first off, we're going to get a 12 to 15 hour long campaign when it comes to Astro Bot. So studio head Nicholas Doucet revealed that it's 12 to 15 hours long. And he says, quote, "We want to really make a game in which the tempo is constant throughout and that each level is the same quality rather than having moments that are actually a little long," end quote. So furthermore, if required, the team would reduce the game's length to avoid repetition. So that's from gamingbolt.com. So we had that story. 12 to 15 hours long. And then we also had the other story. Let me go ahead and get that one up here. So let me get it here. So we're on the image here. If my computer will allow me to do this. Okay, here we go. Astro Bot also features secret passages. Developer completely overhauled its engine. So it's going to be interesting to see here. And also he says, of course, the developer says that, quote, "I don't know if it's necessary or easy to see. You have to see side by side," pertaining to, of course, the secret passages and the completely overhauled parts of the system. So we have a total overhaul of the team's engine, which means that Astro Bot can be a lot prettier and have a lot more physics and things than there were compared to Astro's Playroom, end quote. And Doucet also revealed how the game utilizes the DualSense's haptic feedback. when the player locates secret passages. When touching some walls, they may go from smooth to rough and back again, which haptic feedback conveying the texture. Quote, passing like this, you see where it's rough and you can press it to make a secret passage like in Indiana Jones or Uncharted, end quote. So, of course, Astro Bot will be launching on September 6th, and it will retail for $60 on PS5. And it features over 80 stages, upwards of 70 enemy types, and over 15 new abilities for its protagonist. So, Fubu, I'll go ahead and throw it to you. What are your thoughts on these new features for Astro Bot when it comes out?
Well, first of all, if this game isn't day one on the PlayStation Plus, I'm going to be very mad because this is the most PlayStation thing ever. When it comes to this game, I'm expecting a fun platformer. I think it's a style that we haven't done in a very, very long time. I remember when I played the first one that came with the PlayStation 5, it really, really stand out. The haptic feedback, everything that the controller could do. So I'm expecting more of that, but I don't know how much more of that because there's a limitation to what the PlayStation controller can do. So they will need to make it very, very fresh. And what I expect about this game, I'm expecting a lot of cameos and winks to the PlayStation's full history. They already did that on the first game.
Oh, you've got Kratos and all these different characters in there. I wouldn't be surprised if we even get Aloy as well, too. So.
Exactly, and maybe introduce different types of gameplay, like a game that I don't want to say because I don't want to spoil it. But maybe you can put, it's a platformer, but then it can be a shooter, that could be a murder mystery, then it could be an action RPG game. I think they will mix and match all the types of gameplay so that you can use the haptic feedback in different types of games, or styles at least.
Leah, your thoughts on this? On the
Yeah,
Astro
I mean,
Bot?
no shade to any other game, but Astro Bot is one of the best games on the PlayStation. It looks absolutely stunning, so creative, so fun. Uses the full complete features of the dual sense control, like the haptic feedback, the microphone, everything you can possibly imagine. So I don't even know how they're gonna make it even better. It's just mind blowing to me. I'm really really hyped to see this game. It's crazy that it just came free with the PlayStation. It just makes no sense to me. But I'm glad that they saw people really responded to it, and now we get a full game. So excited to play Astro Bot for sure.
Carl, your thoughts on Astro Bot and how well it might do come this fall?
I hope terribly. That'd be awesome. You know,
We have a
I
plan.
have
Riley.
no love. I have no love for this game. If I cared about this type of game, I'd have played Knack 1 and 2 or
Knack
or Sackboy.
Those suck, man.
You know,
Sackboy is good.
Ooh.
Sackboy was good.
Ooh, cancel
I like
Carl.
I'd play Mario if I wanted to play one of these. You know, it's just not for me. I don't have any interest in any of this. So you know, 12-15 hours. That's pretty good. I'd say for this type of game. That's probably a good chunk. I'd probably more than most of these games. So yeah, okay. Enjoy that.
Carl, man, you're missing out. I mean, because the Astro Bot's playroom was amazing, and I'm really, really looking forward to this one. I mean, I can't wait for it. I mean, I would not be surprised if this game gets into Game of the Year conversations towards the end of the year. I'm looking forward to it.
It might be a sleeper hit. I think it might be a sleeper hit because people are not expecting a lot from the game. That's what happened last year with Baldur's Gate. No one was expecting that much, and it blew people away.
I think you could say people are expecting a lot because everyone's like, it's going to be Game of the Year already. I mean, that's expecting a lot, right?
I don't know.
But we know more
Yeah,
than
that'll
the
be
others, so we know
That'll
more
be
than the
fine.
others. No.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be a 10 out of 10 are people like, what the hell is this shit? It's just more of the same
20 out of
demo.
10.
Oh,
20 out of 10.
no.
Man,
This
Carl,
game.
you hate fun. Why? Who hurt you?
I was a child once and I enjoyed it then. Okay, I'm not anymore.
Oh my
I
god.
haven't been for a long time. Despite
No,
maybe
you
I'm
You
like
are now a child.
Mario
need to
64 was the
learn
last
inner child.
time.
It's very important.
Literally,
Yeah.
Mario 64 was the last time I cared about a game like this. Like, it's been that long. I just don't care. Like, why? There's so many other genres that have so much different aspects to them that I appreciate that I don't want to go back and play like
That's fine. That's
something
fine.
that's exactly basically just the same of what I played when I was younger, just a prettier version with some little tricks to it, you know. There's no, like, it's not like a robust story. Like, that's what I need. Like, that's why I like Psychonauts 2 so much, right? That is one of these type of games, but it has such an interesting story. You know, I wouldn't have played it otherwise. I wouldn't have cared, right, if it didn't have that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be
Forget my
interesting.
earlier comment. You're the oldest of us all.
What, Fubu? Hello.
I'm saying that forget my early comment. He's the
Yeah.
oldest of us all. He is old now. He's old.
And the
He doesn't
oldest
look-
at heart,
He just looks
right?
young, but in spirit, yeah, exactly. He's like 90.
Inside, I'm the
90.
old man yelling at the cloud. You know.
You guys are mocking me right now.
I'm not.
Oh
I'm
my
not.
god.
But
All right.
for me,
Yeah.
for me, I cannot wait for this game. And a
Yeah.
quick little story. Like, I have this ordered, and I actually shout out to Video Games Plus because they were doing a little promotion. If you pre-order the physical, you get a
Mhm.
little Astro Bot plush. So I've got
Nice.
that coming,
Nice.
and I will
Nice.
be. There will be an extra take for this game. Just trust me on that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
a little
Looking forward
story
to that.
here.
Mm.
On Sunday of last weekend, I was streaming Mario Kart, and Leah happened to come in and saw
I'm
me
the
getting
witness.
Yep, she was the witness, seeing me take a lot of shots. And
Mhm.
the thing on this is because there was a Streamloots giveaway, and I said, okay, if I win the PS5, I'll give it away. And then Leah and I came to an agreement and idea together. We would send it to Carl, and then he'd have no excuse. He has to
Wow.
play Astro's Playroom. He has to get the platinum in it because it doesn't take long. And
Oh my god, I have to
you
get the platinum. Otherwise, I have to ship it back, right?
no. Now you have then you'd have no excuse. You'd feel the dual sense and be like, now I understand. Especially when you use that adaptive feedback. Now I understand why Burley, why you get mad when games don't use it.
Well, look, if you actually sent me a PS5, I would play it. I wouldn't be rude and not do that.
All right. All right. One last question about Astro Bot, guys. Now, you know, a lot of people are saying that you know, PlayStation doesn't have many games right now going on. I mean, is Astro Bot going to carry the load for the rest of 2024 and into 2025 for the PlayStation lineup? What do you think?
That's a big responsibility for a really small bot. I feel like PlayStation needs to step it up. I mean, the poor man, he's just here for the good time. I feel like it could be a good indicator of like, okay, we're launching something new. I don't know if there have been rumors for next generation console on the way or Pro, so maybe it could
The
just be like
Pro has been rumored. And
Yeah, and
pretty
it's
much
rumored.
all but
It's,
announced.
it's rumored to come out at TGS, but you know, once again, shout out to the Iron Lords podcast. I was a guest on there a couple of weeks ago, and I said we're not going to see it at TGS. It's if we even get it this year. I mean, it'll probably be at it'll be like at a state of play announcement or at the Game Awards, I think. Kind of like how the Xbox Series X was announced, you know, they'll probably do something like that. But, you know, it might not even be coming, you know, at this moment in time. So, yeah, a lot of speculation right now. But go ahead.
Oh, for me to keep going. Okay, so basically, I think it's gonna be really difficult because PlayStation has been closing studios, right? So some the VR studios and some others, layoffs happening in big studios like Naughty Dog. I don't know. It's all over the place. I don't see like a big title coming to sweep in the rest of the year. I mean, Astro Bot will bring some value, obviously, but I mean, the poor man, it's coming up in September. That's not going to be enough, I guess.
Yeah, it's a little early in the fall, and I don't know how it's going to boost sales when the holiday season comes around, depending on the other titles that are coming out. But
you guys are forgetting about
Mhm.
the other two games.
Mhm.
Concord. Now that's just going to take down
wow.
Overwatch. Everything. Hashtag Burley is not sponsored by Concord, but if you want to send us free stuff, we're.
Did you play it?
I have not played it. I would give the game a try, but I am not spending $40 on that. Like $40+.
Well,
but
yeah,
we do
but
have
they had
Lego
the,
Horizon is the other thing.
They had the beta.
Oh yeah, Lego Horizon.
They had the beta and anybody in PlayStation Plus could play it. But
Yeah.
I guess none of you PlayStation Plus subscribers did.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I'll be honest. I'm not a fan of that style of genre.
Yeah,
I
no,
can
neither
watch
am
that style of game, but you asked me to play it. It's like just I'd rather. This will tell you, and Expat knows my feelings on this. I'd rather just be dropped into Elden Ring until you tell me make me play Elden Ring or Souls.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Astro Bot will be enough for like the really big the fan base, right? The people who are like real big PlayStation people, right? Who wear that on their sleeve. They're gonna love it, and they're gonna be happy about that, and they're not gonna care that there isn't anything else major. As far as like the general audience, I don't think Astro Bot's gonna be the game that's gonna push anything significant for PlayStation this year. But like you have all the third party stuff will be there. Big games like Dragon Age and Call of Duty and Metaphor ReFantasio and Assassin's Creed and Star Wars. All that stuff's on PlayStation. Like that's gonna move more units.
Yeah, a lot of the third party stuff for sure. Yeah, through the rest.
It's a big holiday season.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be big, and then into 2025. I mean, GTA 6 is gonna everybody on PlayStation is gonna be playing GTA 6, so it doesn't matter what PlayStation has up their sleeve for a while. So.
Have you guys seen how the college football game was selling consoles? Right, it had a big boost in console sales in the U.S. On both Xbox and PlayStation. So something like Call of Duty, and that's it's next gen only, that one, right? So something like not Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, which is also going to be next gen only. That's going to push units as well, like hardware for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the next story. So, the indie darling of last year,
Baldur's Gate 3.
No, Sea of Stars. Canadian-made game. You know what? That's okay.
Baldur's Gate 3 is an indie. All right,
we're
guys?
taking over. Well, Burley, since you are all up in the information, maybe you can share the DLC. What's coming up? The details I shared. I guess.
I'm back again. Sorry, guys. I'm really getting pissed off at this, and I don't know what the deal is with Restream, but we're going to be having some conversations this week, I think. But anyway,
we carried on. We did a suspenseful moment with Carl, so all good.
So anyway, Sea of Stars DLC and co-op details will be shared later this year. So my question to you all is, what do you think will be in this DLC? So Leah, you've been playing Sea of Stars recently. So what do you feel we might get from some type of DLC content?
Maybe a backstory for those two other oh my god, what's the name? my
Solstice
mind is
Warriors.
Solstice Warriors. Yes, maybe a bit of backstory for them because they turn. I mean, I don't want to get spoilers. We can't get spoilers, but they have an interesting story that hasn't been explored. I'm on the ship on Vespertine ship. We're taking back
Mhm.
the ship to us, and yeah, co-op will be really cool because one can play. You know, one can play as a girl, the other as the boy. They help both have different controls. So maybe we can have more attacks that will have like a connection between them. You have to juggle your magical MP and then do stronger attacks with that. You have to kind of juggle it together. Could be an idea. Am I making sense? Are you following me? Because the
Yeah.
game, I don't know if you know the meta of the attack, but you have magical MP, and then if you use it, it will drain, and then you have to do physical attacks to get it back. So they could like walk around with these mechanics, but in co-op. So like if you use a magical attack, you also lose another, and like if you do a physical attack as player one, you gain a bit of magic in player two as well to kind of make the game easier or hard.
Mhm.
I think that'll be cool.
Burley, Mr. Kickstarter, your thoughts?
Oh, I cannot wait. Like the local co-op is going to be cool. Having the 2 to 3 player co-op, they've announced that, so that'll be cool. So that way, even if you've got it on the Switch, scroll off the Joy Cons, give one to one person, and just play that way. So I'm very curious. But as for story DLC, I like your idea there, Leah. For the previous at the beginning of the game, you'll see the two Solstice Warriors that are training up before Zale and Valerie. So that would be cool. There's a few characters I could see, and with how the state of some parts of the world, I wouldn't be surprised if we get into. But I can't, unfortunately, say certain things without spoiling the game. And just a little bit of how this, because this game does tie into their first game that Sabotage Studio created called The Messenger. Yeah, it's a very it's a Ninja Gaiden kind of like clone, classic Ninja Gaiden clone. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get stuff like that. Like you have a character week or two like that is in the original Messenger game. So there is like a little bit of a nod if you've played those games.
I mean, sorry, Burley. I don't mean to interrupt, but you said no spoilers. I'm still not here in the game. What is this? I got spoiled on the podcast.
Sorry.
Well, this is the extra take.
Yeah. This is
God
the
damn
extra
it,
take.
Burley.
Yeah, this looks farther in the game for sure.
Oh yeah.
Kind of looks like
Carry
in
on,
the game.
kids.
Who are these characters? What the hell? Stop spoiling. What the hell, Burley?
Well, how about you get good?
I should play more of the game, right? I didn't play enough of it. I only got to like the 4th character in the game yet.
Well, Carl, let's have your thoughts. What do you think we'll get in the DLC?
Yeah,
I haven't played enough to really speculate on that, so it's fine. I don't have to really say.
Okay, Fubu.
I think, well, without saying spoilers, I would do the game after the end of the game with the characters, but because it's co-op, I get a bit worried when it comes to co-op and these classic RPGs. I don't think they will mesh very well. I think that because the game does mash as well different types of game styles, I think the DLC should be a more action-based RPG like Cat Quest, where it's the same type of graphics basically, where you just instead of doing turn-based, you do an action gameplay, and you can use the magics, you can use everything on the system, but instead of being steady, it's action, you keep moving, and then it would be more understandable to my mind that you could do co-op with 2 other players, have a trio. I would do something different with these types of characters because it's something that it's rooted on the game using different game styles.
that would be a different game, right? It wouldn't be Sea of Stars if it was the case. Would they change that much for the co-op?
It's again, if they want to do something, it has to fit on what they need to do. And again, in my head, I don't see a turn-based game working as co-op. Maybe I'm wrong. In my mind, I think they would go DLC to implement that and to have more people play the game. But you'll understand when I say they mash up different gameplays. You need to finish the game. I can't I can't really talk about that.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I don't understand that opinion. But sure. I mean, to
Yeah,
each its
But
own. I am
and
fighting
I
with you.
you already have an action component in the game, which is basically when you use the ability, you can deflect the attack, you can press a timed attack to do more damage, you can do all the those are already action elements that you can do when you're playing a game, an action game. But instead of having the characters standing still, you're controlling them with the analog. I don't think it will change that much because it's the same characters. It's still an RPG. The only thing is they're not standing. You're moving them, and you can dodge. You're not expecting on the percentage of evasion to activate. So there's less RNG. That's what I'm saying. There's less RNG when you're avoiding. At least that's the way I see it. I can be completely wrong.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, co-op in turn-based RPGs isn't something new. It's been around for a while. I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 actually is famous for it. Some people really love that game's co-op mode. Wasteland 3 had co-op. This other game I played called Wildermyth had co-op. I think War Tales has it as well. There's a lot of options out there for that. Yeah, I've never actually played any of those games like that. I'd like to try one, but it doesn't really seem that interesting to me, because you're kind of just going to wait for the other person to do the turn-based, choices that you would have just done yourself.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and move on, guys. We're going to get to the topic of the show now. So it looks like we're going to get an announcement from Ryuga Gotoku, so the Like a Dragon studio, on their next title when it comes to TGS. So, of course, there's a lot of speculation out there that we could be getting the next Judgment game in the series. So, I'm really excited for that because I'm a big fan, obviously, of the Judgment games, Judgment and Lost Judgment. And here is some gameplay of Lost Judgment. So the opening of Lost Judgment. So, I'm really thinking there's more of a stronger possibility of us getting an announcement for the third game and making it a trilogy in the Judgment series, because just recently we've gotten the latest installment of the Yakuza series, of course, with Infinite Wealth, and then we had the other, of course, Kiryu game just before that, which is the traditional base game, which is the Judgment games are the traditional based combat system. What I think it's about a 75% chance that we're going to get the Judgment 3.
Oh,
He's gone. He's going to be back.
Losing it, man.
But Judgment is a good game. Burley loves it. He keeps saying good stuff. He wants justice for someone in the game. I remember. He keeps saying that.
I haven't played, so I'm not really familiar with the franchise. Seems gruesome.
Yeah, it is. This part of the game at the very beginning. So, were you able to hear what I said earlier, guys? So I say I think there's about a 75% chance that
Yeah,
we're
I
going
think
to
that
get the
part, and then it cut.
and then it cut out again. Jesus Christ. Okay. So because of the development cycles of these games, I think it's about time. So my question to you guys is, what percentage of a chance do you give for us to get the announcement for the third game in the Judgment series? Carl, I'll start with you on this one.
Man, I don't know. I'm gonna give it maybe like a 20% chance.
Okay.
I'm not thinking it's gonna be. I know you really want it, and I hope
Yeah.
you get
Yeah.
it because
Yeah.
I don't have a preference on what they're gonna do next. I know it's not gonna be another mainline game. That's too soon to announce. I think there's a good chance it could be like Yakuza Kiwami 3.
Mhm.
I don't know if there's any other one that they haven't. There is another one like Ishin, right? That they made, but they could.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to find out what that was called.
Uh-huh.
That they could also like. There's a few ones that they haven't like brought back. You know, who knows? Like maybe they'll do that and remaster sort of another older one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, it'd be great. Or you know, what Burley's gonna say. We know what that's gonna be.
Well, shall I say it then? We're getting Judgment 3, Kaito's Revenge. I'm going to give this a 80% chance we're getting Judgment 3.
Will they call it Judgment if it's starring Kaito and not
Kaito is a huge part of these games.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
Especially if you played the DLC to Lost Judgment, the DLC is actually Kaito. So it's called the Kaito Files.
Yeah.
So,
and because Kaito was a part of that Yakuza group that Kiryu is a part of, I would not be surprised, even if it is a Judgment game, that we do get Kiryu or Kasuga in these games or in this game. Whatever it's going to be, whether it's a Judgment game, which I'm hoping it is. I think they'll have some type of cameos because we did get in Infinite Wealth, we did get a cameo of some of the characters in Judgment. So I think that would happen in the next Judgment game. So
okay, so it's I guess it's Yakuza. It would be Kenzen, which takes place in Kyoto in the Edo period. So there's that one that they haven't brought back. I don't know if Ishin did well enough, but
yeah, but I doubt if they'll do that now because you've had Rise of the Ronin, and then of course you got Assassin's Creed Shadows coming out too. So I mean,
it doesn't mean it's coming soon. It could be like early next year, right?
Yeah, but it'd just be saturated. It would be felt within the gaming industry that they're just not being creative. They're just sticking with that particular era because they can't do anything else. I mean, I don't think that they would go that route. But
new IP.
Maybe we can look at how big their booth is. If it's big, maybe there's a big investment, maybe a higher chance, right? That's kind of how it works in the game shows and expos kind of thing.
Look, I think Judgment, it's going to be a game that's going to come out because they're doing the interchanging thing. Like they give you an Yakuza, then they give you a Judgment, then maybe they'll give some type of spin-off like Ishin, like a Dragon was. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be with Burley, 80% chance that it's going to be a Judgment, and it's going to be Kaito's Judgment, not Kaito's Revenge, Kaito's Judgment. So it keeps the name. Burley, please, no.
It's not going to be focused on Kaito because Kimura Takuya's character Yagami is the main character in Judgment. So Kimura Takuya will still be the lead, I think. Mm-hmm. But whether or not Johnny's has another big stink or say about what happens in him being in the production is still to be seen, but I think it will move forward and go through. Go ahead, Carl.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's the main character, and I don't think they make a Judgment game without him. So
right.
If for some reason he can't do it yet, then it won't happen. So if they wanted to do something with Kaito, then I think it would be like kind of a side spin-off, right, of that, and not be called Judgment in
Or maybe he could be the victim. Is this like a murder investigation,
Oh,
sort
you're
of?
just gonna kill him off. Oh yeah, let's do that.
Well, see, well,
That's a plot twist.
in the Judgment series, Yagami Takayuki-san, he's played by Kimura Takuya, voiced by Kimura Takuya. He was a former lawyer who left being a lawyer to become an investigator. So yeah.
Maybe there's bad blood, and so they like kill his character off, and Kaito has to, solve the mystery of his murder.
Hence Kaito's revenge. I've been
Yes,
saying this for
exactly.
years.
That's the plot of it. You're right, Burley. We got it.
No, I think my prediction is the title is going to be called Final Judgment.
Ooh.
Because it's going to be a trilogy, and I think it will wrap up the story of Yagami and Kaito and everybody in this area of Kamurocho. So and maybe we will get the cameos of Kiryu or Kasuga or some other character, but I think it's going to wrap. It'll be a trilogy, and it'll wrap up the series, and we'll get a third game, and 75% chance, I'm saying it now. It's we'll get a Judgment 3 announcement, and it'll be called Final Judgment. Yeah, so I don't know.
Good game, a good name.
Yeah, and I just I love these little side stories, and as you can see here in the video, so it's that's the thing that makes the series so fun to play and all, and the stealth elements and stuff. And seeing all these little conversations on the side, so you get a chance to see awake, especially. So great stuff.
And realize you can't move more than 2 street blocks without getting the Yakuza chasing you and you having to fight.
And that's the only thing about the game that is not true, because it's like that's the ironic thing. I mean, it gets relatively safe wherever you go. I mean, even Kabukicho, at night it can be dangerous, but it's during the daytime it's relatively safe. I mean, so, but excited for TGS and what they have to show, and Yuga Gotoku making this announcement there is going to be really special to see what they have to offer. So I'm really excited for it. So,
Thanks.
Yeah, taking the photo snapshots there. Yeah, so, we got it. We got the evidence.
Oh yeah,
it's a good thing about these games. Yeah, so.
The missions are variety and fun.
Yeah, and the fighting styles too. They always are, implementing some new fighting styles in these games. So, good stuff. Yeah. So, all right. You guys are quiet, so not anything else to say about this, huh? Okay.
No, I'm
All
sorry,
right, we'll
Expat. I'm not familiar with this game franchise. I can't really help. I'm really off the
I'm
radar
lagging a
on
lot,
this
so-
one. But I was one question: have you got your media pass yet for the Tokyo Game Show? And are you gonna take a picture with Astro Bot?
No comment
And
at
if
this
there's
moment.
a PlayStation Pro, will you steal it?
No comment at this moment.
About the Pro. I mean, they got to announce that at, I guess, a showcase, right? Like we all kind of think they're going to have a showcase at some point later in the year. Scott. The Game Awards is too late for that, right? If they're going to release it this year, like you can't wait till the Game Awards
And
to announce that.
And don't forget, there's also the Switch announcements. The Switch 2 is going to be announced anytime soon. I don't know if they're waiting to
that could even happen next year.
Nintendo to be announced and then. Yeah, I
No,
don't know,
because
but
they're
maybe they're
still
waiting.
releasing games in 2025. In the last showcase they did in June, they had games that are coming up next year. I don't know if it's gonna be that soon. I think they're gonna wait to close the fiscal year in March, April, I think, and then maybe they'll kind of announce it.
Yeah, and we know PlayStation won't be at Gamescom, so we're not going to see the Pro there, right? So yeah, TGS I just think isn't a big enough event where you would reveal something like that. Like it would be there if they already revealed it, but it won't.
Well, I think Sony's just going to do what they've done. Like, remember with the Portal, they're just like, here they did a state of play, and here it is.
Right.
Here's the thing: they don't need to go to these things or these kind of showcases and be like, here's the PS5 Pro. If they put out say, we're going to do a state of play, it's going to have some games and some new hardware. All of us are all going to go, okay, we're going to check this out. Right. And all those content creators are all going to be like, is it this? Is it this? Doing all the marketing for them. And then when it gets shown off, even if you don't see it live, it's going to be trending on all the social media platforms. And everyone's going to be making the videos for them. So it's like, Sony just needs to put out a X amount of video saying, here you go, here's the PS5 Pro. I wouldn't be surprised if we get it next month and then it coming out in the fall, mid to late fall, or as we've called it for the last while, October Broketober. Throw it with all those games, throw it with Metaphor and stuff like that.
I don't know, man. I don't know. The PS5 Pro might not even exist yet. And it's just,
I can't tell you how I know, but it does exist.
All this media speculation. Hello? Can you guys
show it to us? Show us. You got one. I know it's.
But how could the Pro improve the PlayStation 5? That's my question.
Not much, if any. I mean, it's... Yeah, what it might have a little bit more media, or it might have more storage capacity. I mean, when it comes to graphical fidelity in games, I mean, I don't think it's going to have much difference.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be like, the One X and the PS4 Pro. Like it's going to give you a benefit, and the people who care about the platform a lot are going to want to buy it. Like I would buy it if I was a PlayStation, primary console player. It's like on Xbox, like I would buy a Pro model if they made one, just because I want the best hardware on my platform of choice. So like there's going to be an audience for it.
Yeah, but I might have been cut off again. But I mean, I was trying to say that we don't even know if it exists. I mean, it's the media has been trying to will it into existence at the moment. We don't even know if it really exists at all. I mean, it could be something that we might not even see this year.
I think there's too much smoke. Like, if it doesn't exist this year, I think that would mean either a delay or a cancellation.
I would say a delay, maybe. Yeah. It's just that I don't think Tokyo Game Show, it's not going to be shown there because Tokyo Game Show is more of a regional affair. It's more, for the Japanese market, whereas they're going to be pushing this thing in the West specifically.
Yeah. When you look at the Xbox side, there's no smoke about a Pro model from them, right? So it's very unlikely that exists.
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen because historically that's what's been happening. I think you had the PlayStation, like it was a PlayStation 4, like PlayStation 3 at the time. It wasn't a PlayStation 3 Pro, but when they released the Slim model, it wasn't just a Slim model. They upgraded some stuff. Then maybe on the PlayStation 4, they decided, let's do the Pro one to say it's better. And then they released the PlayStation 4 Pro. And I think we're enough inside the console cycle to release a PlayStation 5 Pro. They already released the Slim version. Now it's time for them to release the Pro version. So I really think it's something that's gonna happen sooner rather than later. Because if they delay the release of the PlayStation 5 Pro, that means the next gen has to be delayed, because you're not gonna buy a PlayStation 5 Pro to then in 3 years you need to buy a new console. In this case, the PlayStation 6. Doesn't make any sense. Maybe they would, if they wait too long to release the Pro, they will have to postpone the release date of the next generation for all consoles.
But what if they don't release a Pro and they just skip to 6?
Look, I believe in Burley this way. I believe in Burley, and if Burley says it exists, it exists. He's the Pope in my religion. He's the Pope on the PlayStation 5
So
religion.
you don't believe in me saying that it might not exist? Okay, you're out of here.
I guess me and Xbox team up.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, see, Leah, with
Heathens.
the
All of
I
you.
shall
Yeah,
bless
you're
you. Boo-boo.
communicated. Yeah.
yeah, with the Xbox, that's sort of the rumor, is that they're just not going to do a Pro because they're just going to run with a next gen sooner, right? And maybe PlayStation is changing their mind on what they want to do, and that's why we haven't really heard any concrete evidence yet. Only like what we had some leaks earlier, but it's been a while, right? They could decide that maybe they thought that it's just not going to be worth it. But
Do you think that they're just waiting because the Switch 2 announcement is imminent and they don't want to announce before that, because then Nintendo will just steal all the fire away?
I would say it's unrelated because, I mean, look at like the PlayStation Portal, right? Like it's a big success, and they didn't care about anything else. They do things on their own time. They're not going to worry about the Switch 2 in regards to their hardware, because they're not really competing these two units. Like, they're just vastly different things.
Well, that philosophy might change though with Totoki-san now in charge. I mean, because he wants to get back into the Japanese market for sure. I mean, which
he's gonna have to make a portable.
and that's probably not going to happen in the near future. So I mean, we'll see.
Well, there are those vague rumors about a PlayStation portable console that would natively play all PS4 games and maybe select PS5 games, and would be able to stream the rest of the PS5 games.
Yeah,
I mean, who knows? Like, that could be a device that exists.
Yeah.
For the Pro, I think the reason why we haven't seen it is because of the whole shift in leadership change that PlayStation has had as of late.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're just trying to get their ducks in a row, and it's like, what do you launch this game with showing? Like,
Yeah,
because as we don't, it's not like if this was coming last year or the year prior, year before that, you would have had God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2, those would have been the big perfect games to, show and sell this thing. Not that you can't do.
You know who knows? I'll tell you who knows if this exists. Ubisoft. Because if it's coming out this year, it's coming out before Assassin's Creed Shadows, or around that time, and AC Shadows would definitely have a PS5 Pro version.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
So go to your contacts at Ubisoft, Burley. Okay, Ubisoft Montreal. Go talk to them.
Who says I haven't already talked with them?
Oh, see, there we go.
Don't worry.
We completely
have talked about.
We completely got onto a different road here, guys. We were supposed to be talking about Judgment and all, but yeah, So, but yeah,
Judgment 3 PS5 Pro exclusive. Wrapping it all together for you, Expat. Okay.
Yeah, that would piss off a lot of the Xbox players for sure. Yeah, because it's a multi-platform. So, all right. So anyway, that was our topic of the show, talking about Judgment, TGS, and of course, veering off and talking a little bit about the potential for the PS5 Pro. So we shall see if we.
If you can get it.
Oh my God. He didn't like it. He left. No. It doesn't
want to be here.
This stream is trying to cancel Xbox.
Yeah, right.
It's like they're.
No, I think it's Fubu's connection at his work that's screwing with us. Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah. I'm starting to think that this might have something to do with it. I don't know, but we shall see. But anyway, it's time to move on.
He doesn't like that we're talking positive about PlayStation. Cancel Uncle Phil and cancel Matt Booty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like I'm coming in and out, and he's coming in and out. So I'm starting to think that it might be the connection with him and his laptop and all. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, it's time to move on. So it's time to get to our new game release picks of the week. So you can go to releases.com and check out all of the picks for, of course, this week and all of the new game releases for the rest of the month of July and beyond. So releases.com. So first up, so I think Burley, you are first. So what do you have for this week?
My pick of this week is Artesian TD, or stands for Tower Defense. In Artesian TD, you will set out to conquer the archipelago of chaos. Build a tower mazes to free souls of magical warriors corrupted by the Titans. Discover new towers and monsters as you embark on an adventure that will take you through 30 unique maps. Artesian Tower Defense features no random computer-generated waves. Use the map's topology and special tiles to optimize your maze and build strategies. Coming July 22nd to PC only. I love tower defense games, and I can just see this is just going to be a blast of just trial and error of finding, okay, these tiles are best to put these kind of towers here and there, and just slaughter the enemies, the hordes of enemies that are coming through.
Cool.
Looks really fun. I really like the art style. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Coming on July 22nd. Nice. Okay. So I think, Leah, you are up next. Yeah, what do you got?
Okay, I have... Oh, sorry. Exophobia. Explore an abandoned human spaceship that crashed in an unknown planet as you fight unforgiving hordes of aliens in this retro-inspired fast-paced shooter. Exciting weapon upgrades allow you to uncover new areas and mix up your combat style. It comes out in 3 days, July 23, for PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox, Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. Sorry, got a bit mixed up. But this kind of reminds me of like old school Doom, and it just sounds really fun. I like the retro style, and you just shoot away and destroy all the enemies, and it just sounds really cool. So, that's why I picked
retro
it.
style. Yeah.
Is it wrong of me as I'm watching this? I can just hear the Doom theme music. Classic
No,
Doom
that
theme.
is absolutely correct.
Da, da, da.
Nice. So coming July 23rd. Yeah. So cool. All right. I am up next, and my pick of the week is Midnight Ramen. In Midnight Ramen, you play as the owner of a ramen stand. You interact with your customers, listen to their troubles, and help them out whenever you can. But as the diners come and go, and the bowls of ramen are cooked and served, troubles are beginning to brew in your own life as well. So it comes out in 4 days on July 24th for PC. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys like ramen. I love ramen out here in Japan, of course. So there are ramen shops everywhere. So, of course, I love miso ramen.
Ramen is really
so this
good.
is a game that I wanted to pick. So talking with your
ramen and
customers
beer.
and all seems like a fun game to play.
This reminds me of Perfect Pizza. I think that's it was kind of the same vibe, where you kind of make the pizzas and you have your regular customers, and as you move forward, the story moves forward as well. So it's really fun. It's really addictive. You just keep going and going and going before you know, like, time has flown by.
Right. One large classic tonkatsu. Here it is. One classic tonkotsu. Yeah. Tonkotsu ramen. It's that's a style of ramen from Kyushu area. So that's very good. All right. I think Carl, you are up next. So what do you have for us?
All right, I picked this game called Abathor, coming out July 25th on PC only.
Mm-hmm.
Abathor is a 2D arcade action platformer for up to 4 players. You are the last hope in defense of Atlantis. You'll face hordes of enemies and countless challenges. Enjoy its pixel art and epic music, a cooperative and competitive game to achieve glory or death. Yeah, I don't know. I saw this and I'm like, it just reminds me of Golden Axe type game.
I was gonna say
It's like Conan, yeah. It's like,
yeah. Like
yeah, really old school.
Yeah. 4-player. You know, it looks fun, right? For sure. It's weird that it's only on PC. I think it's announced for Switch as well, but there's no date for it.
Interesting.
I'm probably working still on the port, so
Yeah,
it might take a while and not have it.
Probably a small indie team there.
Yeah, I see. Good stuff. Nice. All right, so those are our picks of the week. So you can go to releases.com and check out our picks as well as all of the other games that are releasing for the rest of July and beyond. So our picks were for the week of July 22nd through the 28th. So yeah, it's good stuff. All righty. So, Burley and Leah, did you have something you wanted to talk about? You said you were going to talk about something. You had some thing you were going to reveal at the beginning of the show or something like that. Do you want to talk about that now?
It was just gifting Carl the PlayStation.
Oh, okay.
He segued into the Astro Bot.
Okay, so that was probably something that I was getting kicked out and I didn't hear. So okay.
Oh, okay, that's fine. So basically, Burley might be able to win a PlayStation, and he's gonna gift it to Carl, so he can. Play
unfortunately, the draws came through. I did not win on any of it. So.
Oh, no.
Damn it! Oh no, Carl!
Carl's like,
oh no, he's devastated.
I mean, I would take a PS5. There are games I want to play on it. Hey, you know what? This Avatar game, I'm looking it up on elsewhere, and maybe releases.com just failed on this because on their official website, it shows Switch, PS4, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. So, hey, there you go.
well.
Coming to everything. Physical editions for PlayStation and Switch, but of course not Xbox because screw Xbox, they're garbage, right?
No, because you put everything on Game Pass. You don't need a physical edition.
But it's not on Game Pass. What does it have to do with it?
Yeah. But I see it, Burley. That little hand of darkness coming through Carl's back, whispering, "Hey, PlayStation isn't that bad."
Yeah. Like, I have PS4, you know.
We're just having fun.
Now I got to go back to my original strategy of if I ever get a PS5, first thing I do, delete Astro Bot.
No, you have to play Astro Bot. It's a requirement.
No, you delete. It's not Astro Bot because it doesn't come with the PlayStation.
It's PS5. Astro's Playroom comes in.
Astro's Playroom, but not Astro Bot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All
right. Astro's Playroom.
Time to move on, guys. So let's get to the Game Pass Wave 2 for July, and then we have a couple of other supplemental stories to throw in with the Game Pass announcements for the second wave for July. So, Carl, I'll go ahead and throw it to you for the Game Pass games. What is coming in Wave 2?
All right, I'll make this quick because it's only 3 games listed, which is Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn, July 18th.
Mm-hmm.
These are all actually day 1 Game Pass games. So it's a pretty cool drop, even though it's only 3 games. Dungeons of Hinterberg, also July 18th, so that's out as well. And Kunitsugami, July 19th, already out as well.
Yeah, Kumitsugami, yes.
Yeah,
I'm gonna as one of the games that I'm gonna try to play this week. I'm gonna try to be playing Kumitsugami. So looking forward.
I really did want to try to play it this week. I did not have time. Didn't find time for it.
Yeah, I had no time because I was putting up all the other content here on the Arena Production. So it was a busy week. So we'll be talking about that in the programming notes. But yeah, so yeah. Burley, Leah, your reactions to these 3 games that are in Wave 2?
I mean, the first one seems interesting. Sorry, Kunitsugami?
Kunitsugami, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it has the coolest art style. Do you know what the game is about? Can you do a little explanation?
I can read the thing here.
It's like a platformer strategy.
No. It's an action strategy game. So there's action, melee combat, and also like sort of tower defense strategy elements in this like
Oh,
sort of
okay.
town area that you have.
Mhm.
You can like build up defenses for. It's a Capcom game.
Okay.
Mm.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
You know, even though it's only 3 games, they do look good. Like Flintlock, I'm interested in,
Yeah.
and the Kitsunami is one I will definitely check out when I get some time.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the supplemental stories here for Game Pass because there was a story about Hellblade 2. The sales data offers a clear picture of how it did on Xbox Game Pass and the charts. And so basically, it looks like, and this is from Matt Piscatella, Hellblade 2 was 37th overall in terms of full dollar sales for May of this year, putting it at 21st overall on the Xbox Series consoles. Hellblade 2 did not receive, of course, a physical release. And this is from over at IGN Nordic. So, Carl, what your thoughts on the position of the dollar sales for Hellblade 2 in this sense?
Yeah, I mean, it was 21st overall. Like, I mean, that's obviously not great. It's still something. Obviously, I think this was a game that most people were going to play on Game Pass. Like I did,
Right.
of course.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people had too high expectations for this, and maybe that's partially Microsoft's fault because it was the first game when they announced the console, right, that they showed. But the game is a pretty niche style game. I mean, it was the first one was basically an indie that just looked really nice, and this game is more of the same, just looks much better. I mean, I don't think that the wider audience would really warm to this game, even if it were, let's say, on every platform, and even if it was marketed heavily. I just don't think it would translate to a large success, and it's unfortunate. But I think you have to look at the market and say, like, I don't think you need to do another one of these.
But they probably will, though. I mean, I think there will be a Hellblade 3 at some point.
I don't know.
Yeah, we shall see. But I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that they didn't even market this game, pretty much. I mean, it was, and if it would have been on commercials and everything, and they would have marketed it, appropriately, it probably would have sold better. So.
Yeah, but those are multi-million-dollar, marketing campaigns, right? Because you got to do worldwide marketing. I mean, if you spend tens of millions of dollars, right, to market this game, you're potentially adding like another 50% of the budget for this? Because I don't think this game's a massive budget. Like, I think it's a decent, like, mid-size.
Yeah.
And are you really going to get that much of a return on your investment?
Yeah, I think maybe you do the PlayStation strategy of it all. I mean, they're not, PlayStation is not even as, like a quarter of the size of Microsoft, but they're putting a lot more into the marketing of games, well, especially during the PlayStation 4 generation and all, which, I mean, they probably didn't spend tens of millions of dollars on one game's marketing campaigns, but I mean,
they definitely did for something like Spider-Man, for something
for
like
a game
God
like
of War.
that.
All the big marketing, like, and those games are massively expensive, right? We're talking like $100 to $300 million, like,
to make,
games, right? When you spend that much money on a video game, you have to spend a ton of money on marketing.
How much money do you think they spent on Hellblade 2?
I don't think it would be more than like 60.
So
I can't even.
Not 100 million.
I doubt it. I really, really doubt it.
Yeah.
2,500.
2,500. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to, of course, the next part of the Game Pass supplemental story here. The FTC now they've decided to jump back into things because they feel that Xbox hiking their prices was it's a lack of it's unproductive product degradation, so to speak. So this is from over at IGN. So a new Federal Trade Commission filing in the U.S. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals is taking aim at the recent Xbox game. Carl, can you mute your mic, please, while your daughter is screaming there? Saying that it vindicates, quote, the congressional design of preliminary halting mergers to full evaluate their likely competitive effects, end quote. So the filing argues that the price increase, which was announced July 9th, is, quote, inconsistent, end quote, with the case it made during last year's Xbox FTC trial. In breaking down the new revised service, the FTC filing describes the new standard tier as, quote, degraded product, end quote, that withholds day one releases while still representing an increase over the original console Game Pass tier. So my question to you guys is, is this new FTC filing going to make any significant, progress in trying to overturn the acquisition, which I completely doubt? I think that this is like ho-hum type of news, and that's Microsoft's decision to be able to make price increases. They should have thought of that before because they probably knew that this was going to happen in the first place. But anyway, your guys' thoughts. Burley, I'll start with you.
It's not going to change much. I think this is just drumming up some noise, and I think this is gonna stay a story for a couple of weeks, and then it'll go away. I was a little surprised that it happened. Yeah.
Carl, your thoughts? Yeah.
Yeah, the FTC, I don't know. They just want to do something. Feel like they can get back at them for getting their ass handed to them.
Yeah, for losing. Yeah, big time. Yeah.
Yeah, but guess what? Microsoft still has the best lawyers, right? And you better believe that they are covering their asses when they made these changes, right?
Yeah, the FTC, they had some pretty incompetent lawyers there for sure. Yes.
Yeah. So I would imagine, legally speaking, Microsoft knew what they were doing, and they have their I's dotted and their T's crossed on this. And saying it's a degraded product is incorrect, because it's not the same product. It's a different product, right? It's a new product. Standard isn't the same version as anything else. They changed it, and the prices are different. Increasing the price on Ultimate, I mean, I don't know. You could argue that they said they wouldn't change prices because of Activision, right?
Yeah.
But I can guarantee you that Microsoft has, in their legalese and with their lawyers, they can point at several other reasons in the market why they raised their prices. And the most obvious one that they could point at is, look, PlayStation just did it. So what was their reason for doing it, right?
Yeah.
So why can't we do it? That doesn't make any sense, right?
And because PlayStation is the little guy.
Yeah, right.
And so the little guy, they get the pass, and the big, when it comes to the monopolies, which everybody thinks Microsoft is, they don't get a pass.
Yeah. And Microsoft was walking on eggshells for nearly 2 years while this deal was in litigation.
Yeah. And
there was a lot of things that they didn't do or wouldn't do, or had to tiptoe around, price increases, right, for Game Pass. They didn't do a lot of that. They did one small one, not too long ago, and then now they did it again. It's when everybody else and their mother was raising the prices like mad in streaming services, right? So nothing's gonna happen, I guarantee.
Yeah. Fubu, sorry I had to cut you off there for a little while. You're back. Your thoughts on this?
Don't worry about it. I think they're just showing off. They're trying to justify their paycheck, and let's mess with someone just to show that we're working. It doesn't matter if you're gonna lose. Let's gonna show some work. Be on on the headlines and stuff like that. They got nothing. I think, like Carl said, Microsoft's lawyers are very, very good. I think they oversight everything that might happen. So I don't think there's any reason to go about it. So they're going to lose. Microsoft is going to win. And if Sony can hike the price, so can Microsoft. And that's the world that we live. Everything's going to increase. Price games are going to increase. Cost of life, everything's going to increase. So there's nothing that we can't do. We just have to accept this. And we have to vote with our wallets. If we want to keep the prices getting high, you buy. If you don't agree with the prices, you don't buy. That's how you do it. You vote with your wallet in these types of situations.
Right. Leah, your thoughts?
Well, I mean, it's America. Corporations win. It's fine. I mean, if this was the European Union, maybe we'll have a different conversation. But, they can't stand for a liberal market and companies and enterprises and then kind of dunk it down. It's kind of part of America corporate spirit, I guess. So I'm with you guys. Like, it's not going to change the end result. It's all going to stay the same.
Yeah.
And look, hey, if the FTC was to somehow have a case, right, and win something, I mean, I think we would, as consumers, would probably win because they would probably then force them to have to, change policies to something that's more beneficial to us. So,
right.
Yeah.
All right, so it's time to get to our programming notes. We got a big slate of content here on the Arena Productions for this past week. So obviously we are not only a video game related channel, but of course, entertainment and pop culture related. But first, before we get into our entertainment and pop culture related content, we do have one, of course, a bit of gaming content that we just put up. It's in early access over on our Patreon, patreon.com/The Arena Productions. You can go and check out our Patreon and come and join us over there. Or for channel members here on the YouTube channel for The Arena Productions. So Burley, I will let you talk about, your extra take. So your latest extra take that you did for Luigi's Mansion 2 HD.
Yep. So as Expat said, I've did an extra take for Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. So if you want to know a little bit about the game, as well as I do talk about some of the differences between it and the original game back on the 3DS and how it kind of compares between the other games in the series, because this is the only Luigi's Mansion game for a long time that was only just on a portable console. So there is some differences.
So it's in early access. It will be going after the first couple of days. It will be going public. So, come and help support our content and become a channel member, or over on Patreon, become a patron and help us out.
Yeah.
Check out the gameplay review Burley did there. So it's good stuff. All right. Next up for the entertainment and pop culture related videos, the latest recap and review, House of the Dragon. So Regent. So my recap and review of episode 5. So that is out now. So So Aemond, one-eyed Aemond. Yeah. he's getting into control now. So interesting stuff. So please go and check out my review of that. So good stuff. Only a few more episodes left. I mean, only 8 episodes in this season. So they're going to be leaving a lot for season 3. I mean, So it's good stuff. So that's the House of the Dragon, our fantasy stuff. And so for Star Trek, of course, my weekly recap and review of Star Trek Prodigy Season 2. So Gwyn's Temporal Phasing Dilemma. So yes, and go and check out. I'm trying to do 1 episode a week, recap and review for Season 2, which is 20 episodes. They drop 20 episodes right away on Netflix because Paramount Plus made a mistake and decided, they just decided, we don't need Prodigy anymore, which is actually a really great series. And so Netflix has just been just grabbing up all these great series recently. So it's good stuff. So Star Trek Prodigy, and of course Gwyn, the voice of Gwyn, is of course Miss Purnell, of course from the Fallout series. Yeah, so Purnell. So great stuff. All right, so next up, Star Wars. Our Star Wars content, The Acolyte, the season finale recap and review. And I know Fubu, you had some things to say about that, and we will be having a roundtable in the near future here coming up. We just have to get it scheduled. A roundtable review of the season, our opinions and discussions on it. But yeah. So Fuba, it's like you were saying that, they made trash on my island. I think you were just referring to the final episode, maybe, because I know there's a lot of mixed feelings on the season finale.
Okay, we'll have this conversation on the roundtable, but there was very good things on this series with the fighting one of the best ones. Even this last battle in the finale was really good. They're setting up things that could be interesting, but the series itself, I think it's because the main actress wasn't charismatic enough. I don't know what went wrong there. I did like Manny Jacinto. I really wouldn't mind that if Manny Jacinto if there was a second season, I would like him to be the lead and not her, because I think Manny Jacinto was very, very charismatic in the series. I think he was the best thing in the series. But I wasn't blown away. They used the environment from Madeira very beautifully. They showed the best that the island can give. So the environment was really good. It's just a shame what the story that they provided was trash. But again, we'll talk about that in the roundtable.
Yeah, we'll see. So we'll be talking about it.
Harsh.
I mean, like I didn't love this either. I didn't think it was good. I didn't think it was terrible, but it was like, it's like whatever. I didn't really care.
So a typical Star Wars Disney offering, right? Except for Andor. I mean, Andor is a different.
I'm telling you now, I came up with the craziest theory that I will say on the roundtable. So everyone watching this, pay attention when the roundtable drops, because I got this crazy theory that I came up with my own. I didn't see anywhere else. I came up with my own, but we'll discuss about on the roundtable.
Right.
I don't know if this gets a season 2. I don't care if it does or doesn't. Like, I think they could do better in season 2. So like, I would check it out. But like, I would rank this below Ahsoka. Like Andor is obviously the best, and then I'd say Mandalorian, because season 1 and 2 were so good. And then Ahsoka, and then this.
So we'll see. All right. So, and next up, I think most of you will agree, The Boys.
Don't say
Homelanders.
I did not get to watch it yet, unfortunately.
Homelanders New World Order. So the season finale, my recap and review, and we will also be doing, once we get a chance to schedule it, we will do a roundtable discussion on the season as well. So I mean, just overall a great season. No spoilers, but so if you've watched the episode, please go and check out my recap and review of the episode. So it's good stuff.
It was a great season. Started. This is proof that sometimes people are just they just like to complain. Like I've said it, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, I don't remember. Like I do understand when people say that the first 3 episodes were a bit slow, but they had to do some world building, and this series ended with so well. I really like the plot twist. I just wish they did more with the Frenchie actor, because I think Frenchie is a character with great potential. But again, that's something that we will talk on the roundtable more, so we don't spoil. So great content that we have for you guys. Be sure to subscribe to us so you can see everything that drops.
Yep. All right.
I was so disappointed I didn't get to watch it last night.
It's so good, man. It's so good.
Yeah, my daughter just wouldn't go to sleep, and I had to work at 6 a.m. today, so I couldn't stay up too late to try to watch it. So.
Just inject her with Compound V.
No, Night Quill. Yeah, I told you all. Give
Pretty
her Night
risky
Quill.
there, X-Pac.
Yeah, very risky. Yeah.
Fine,
All right.
temp V.
Yeah.
Temp B? Okay, it's a little safer.
Yeah, temp V. Yeah. All right. So yeah, please go and check out that recap and review if you've seen the episode. So one last thing I wanted to bring up, this isn't a part of the programming notes, but just one last thing I wanted to bring up because this was a story that Burley threw to me earlier in the week, and I want to show the image of it here. Is the Nintendo Switch? We're getting these like the Joy-Con, the official Joy-Con charging stand here for the classic. Yeah. So what do you guys think of this? Burley,
I mean,
or
love
Leah,
it.
go ahead. Yeah.
about damn time. It only took them 7 years to come up with an essential feature to the Joy-Cons that keep losing battery. Thank you, Nintendo. Better late than never.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, the funny thing is like they're doing this as like a magnetic thing, and people are wondering because we've had the rumors with the whole magnetic attaching Joy-Cons with the next console. So it's interesting, but it's like also at the same time, like I have a thing, the Joy-Con charging station that's pretty easy to charge them. That came out within 6 months of the Switch being out. It's like a little too late on this.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you're doing this now, one thing is to try and say like, hey, the Joy-Cons are still going to be around.
Mhm.
It's going to either be the Switch 2 or the Super Switch.
Yeah. So yeah, those are pretty interesting that they came out. I was looking at that and I was like, geez, yeah. I mean, yeah, they could have come out with that the first day that the Switch came out back in 2017. I mean, it's like, yeah.
I mean,
It's
Yeah,
easy.
right.
It's a tactic. It's create the problem, sell the solution. That's marketing tactic. You create the problem, sell the solution. So it took a long time, but I do like the idea. So thank God it's here.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I just want to let everybody know that's watching now and that comes and watches in video on demand later on. Thank you so much for watching us and supporting the podcast here, as well as all of our other content here on the Arena Productions. Of course, the Arena Gaming News Podcast is, of course, recorded live here on our YouTube channel, the Arena Productions, every Saturday, 2 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So please come and check us out. Thank you so much. And please be sure to leave us some comments on the topics that we discussed on this episode. So once again, want to apologize for the ins and outs here of, of course, the connection issues that we had. I'm probably going to be talking with Restream about that this week and see if we can get that, fixed. So, but anyway, thank you so much for all of you joining. And now it's time to end our show with, of course, Indie Recording Artist Spotlight. But before I get into that, though, just a quick thing of what we're going to be playing this week. Burley, what are you going to be playing and streaming?
Well, I'm going to be finishing off Paper Mario. I got to the last chapter, so I'm finishing that up, and I'm starting up Sonic Superstars. And since the little Streamloots goal got met on Sunday, the Sonic onesie got purchased.
Okay.
That is so awesome.
Nice. Leah, what are you going to play?
Sea of Stars.
Continue Sea of
Next.
Stars. Continue, yes, and finish it up finally. So then, when we show more video clips of it, you don't get spoiled.
Well, then once she does finish it, she can go back to that awesome extra take you and I did, X-Pac.
Yeah, exactly.
True story.
Carl, what are you going to play?
I'm still playing Zenless Zone Zero, and really only because like it's something I can play on my phone when I don't have a lot of time, because I don't have a lot of time, which sucks. But I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time with it, so I'll keep doing that. You know, I had a random thought for you, Expa. What was that in the intro? It looked like an anime to me. I'm like, why does he have an anime playing? But I assume it's a game, right?
It is a game, actually. It was because Fubu got cut out. It was his pick of the week, actually. So
okay.
it's called Tokyo Xanadu.
Yeah.
It's a game. Fubu, do you want to talk about it for a second or two, since it was your pick of the week? Go ahead.
Yeah. Because so I had the details here because I was going to read it, but it's an action RPG. I've been, because of
Classic.
the PlayStation Classic. It came out on the PlayStation Vita back in I don't even know, but now it's releasing on the Switch in 5 days. But it's a revamped version of the game, so better controls, better graphics. So and because I've been playing a lot of RPGs this week because of my craziness over the PlayStation Plus, John Dark, Summoner, all these old classic action RPGs. Well, John Dark is more tactical, but you know what I mean. I've been in the binge for old games, so that game really caught my eye, and I was really surprised when it came out on the PlayStation Vita because I used to play a lot of RPGs back then, so it's a wonder that it missed. So I got my eye. I really liked it. That's why it was my pick of the week, and I'm happy that you enjoyed it, Carl. It looks like a really good game, and I hope I can get it for a good price, and I can play it and test it out because, again, in the bench for action RPGs. And what will I be playing this week? I'm going to finish John Dark. Already finished the story. I'm going to plat the game, and then I'm going to play the Summoner, the PlayStation 2 game that they gave on the PlayStation Plus, and I'm going to start playing that game and be full of nostalgia. I already played a little bit. It's really good as I remember it.
Nice. All right. So to end our show, it's time for our indie recording artist spotlight. So each and every week we do an outro with like a game trailer with music to end the show. So our indie recording artist for this week spotlight is on Captain Jaws. Captain Jaws is a Los Angeles-based electronic and hip hop producer. His sound combines a fusion of electronic samples and hard-hitting drums. Okay, so his music has been featured in numerous advertisements, TV shows, and films around the world. From his album titled Future Cities, and the song is called Gotta Move. So this has been The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, episode 179. I've been your host, Expat. Along with my co-hosts, we got the full crew, Burley Burlerman Gaming, Turn-Based Carl, Leah the Hatless, and Fubu87. We hope to catch you next week. Of course, Saturdays from 2 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time and 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So take care, everyone. Have a great week of gaming and enjoy the outro. Peace out.
Listen.